here. This is my studio, Moko Inc. in Greyland. Celebrated our 10th birthday, 10 years going recently, and yeah, that's where I work.
I whakatuwhera hia e Inia o Moko Inc. O tira nā rāua ko tana hoa kai whakaawe hoki a Paulo Suluape I te wā kaore anō kia tino rano na hia te moko.
He taught me how to make traditional hand tools and how to tattoo traditional Samoan style, which was fantastic. And in between the knowledge of that and what knowledge I knew of carving and Māori patterns, and in the end it's really helped me kind of like get to a point now where I can make traditional Māori tools and make them work, you know, and that's been great. So lift up, I reckon if someone's like that and then like that, and so that we're actually holding the elbow slightly more vertical. Try that. Underneath. Yeah. At the moment, I'm teaching Crocky and Kaylin. Kaylin tattooing by machine and Crocky tattooing just strictly by hand.
I'm using Samoan to towel, so that's my way of tattooing. So I like the hand tools. I've never used the machine. I want to stay working with hand, and Inia passed me that knowledge and that skill. So yeah, I'm just doing that, learning that really. It's cool. I had an introduction through other tattoo friends that he's somebody I should definitely hang out with, and he's just he just has a good heart and good passion for art in all areas. So yeah, it's an honour to be learning from him, and yeah.
When I use the hand tool, I've never tattooed a face with a machine. I didn't want to be the first one in my family to do that, so I find that the hand tool, well, for starters, it is actually more gentle. Sometimes it can get very spiritual and quite emotional, the hand tool, because you can totally imagine our tipuna just sitting there tapping away, putting together these pieces of work, very slowly, very gently, very delicately. Also, there's patterns that just don't work with a machine, especially Polynesian ones and Samoan ones that just don't make any sense when made by a machine. But when made by the hand tool, they're beautiful.
He's amazing. He's you know, one of the best tattooers in the world, and it's a privilege to be able to work here.
It's a tough call to connect those two together, right? Yeah.
Everything I know about tattooing, I've learnt here from him.
I find that using a machine, you can give more depth to a pattern, and having a background in carving helps. So when I'm doing a pattern that maybe, say, niho taniwha, I can actually make it look like teeth. Or if I'm doing a harakeke pattern, a weaving pattern, I can make it look like it's weaving by shading it. The tattooing machine, whenever I'm using it, I feel compelled to make a difference, to make it look like it's done by a machine, to try and take the art that little bit further. These days, people want so much more from the moko than there was originally, you know. Of course, you've got small people, but not...
I could go somewhere else and learn to tattoo averagely, and then years from now get a whole lot of practice at being an all-right tattooist. Or I could come here and learn more in a day than I would anywhere else in a week, and that's every day. So I don't know, I learn things every day. He's got a huge wealth of knowledge that is just... seems to be never-ending. Sometimes you've got to, you know, dig for it, but as soon as, you know, you nudge him and it'll be blah, 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 and you know, blow your mind. You have to be listening the whole time.
He taonga tuku iho te moko ki te whānau whānui o Inia Taylor Putanua I ngā whakatipuranga. Ia e mahi ana I roto I te ao tā moko e hara I te mahi nā whai aro anake e nare mahi wairua hoki.
Hāturu ki te tongs urang ki te tai o kiri mai te mi hoka ki te ora. Ki mihi e whanno. Haere mai te tau ki homie, huie, tae ki e, pai marare, ameni. It can't help but be spiritual. You could run away from it, you know. Or you could even try and rack up the whole tapu nature of it, but the tapu nature of it just exists. There's no way on earth that something could exist that is this permanent on people, this painful and dramatic, you know, to obtain without it gaining a spiritual and some kind of real, well, other world significance, because it's that important. It's something that cannot be undone. Everybody that comes here, we sit down and have a chat with, and we make something that is just one-off for them. To be able to create that each time for that person is, sometimes it scares the hell out of me. I mean, it's still 10 years since I started that idea. I never wanted any flash on the walls. I didn't want people to get moko A, moko B, or moko C. You know, I didn't want that to happen. I wanted it to be as much someone's signature as it always had been. This being a memory of your mate. What was his name?
Scott.
Scott. And he was part Samoan.
Yeah.
And you guys both travelled over from here.
Yeah, the kuru's the one thing I want, and just to work in some of the Samoan designs around it.
Yeah. In that way, you know, you're a total mokai for the people that walk in the door. You have to be very humble and let them dictate the terms and conditions. Like that. Yeah, and so I was doing a piece. These are our people. These are our future, and it's really important that they're treated with the respect that they deserve. Yeah. And if you don't, then it will come back and bite you. Nothing is more karmic than this. Yeah, I'm thinking down here I might use that Samoan shark's tooth pattern through the bottom here, which is to do with like spiritual protection. You know, with Erin, you know, her boyfriend had passed away in a really dramatic situation and really traumatic. You know, they'd gone to Europe, they'd finally got their flat together in London, everything was going cool. They went to go to meet up with some friends and have a few drinks in the park and a picnic, and then boyfriend climbs a tree, falls out in a coma for 4 days, dies. You know, this is the turning point in her life. Her whole life changes. In the few seconds it takes for him to hit the ground, her life is totally different. And in many ways, tattoo is the only way that that can be expressed. Because in a few moments, she's different. There's an analogy there. You can understand why, and back in the day, this work was so tapu and sacred, because that's it. There can't be anything flippant about that. Oh, wow.
Pretty much straight after Scott died, I knew I wanted to get a tattoo in memory of him, but I didn't want to do it like shortly after he died because my head wasn't in the right space, so I held off and held off. But 4 months after he died, I knew that it was going to be on my left foot and it was going to be a Māori design, and it definitely would have a kuru in it for the new beginnings, and yeah. So it's nice to have it finally done.
It's all about navigation, you know. for Naomi as well. I mean, she is one of the few South Island Samoans. She grew up in Queenstown, of all places, you know, and really isolated, maybe one other Samoan family within a couple of 100 miles. For her to get that piece on her, she knows that her mother's just going to totally cry when she sees it because it's totally traditional and suitable for a woman of her stature and status, you know. And so for her, I mean, she was working in the film industry, in the fashion industry, doing all kinds of things, totally a world away from the people that came here on a boat from Samoa. Yet, this can tie her to them. This can make her have something in common with them. She never leaves them behind now. They're with her every day. Yahoo! Cool. Oh, I'm stoked, yeah. I always feel really relieved. I always feel really relieved and really humbled and really, I feel cool if, you know, I haven't kind of like made any mistakes and kind of like the people's trust has been warranted, you know? Yeah. Yee. I like the fact as well that it is just so like traditionally Samoan too. It's like so old school Samoan. Paula would be proud, eh?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. The passion that he has for it, and that he will let each and every customer know how much passion he has for it, that makes someone want to come back and get more work.
He's my friend. He's the best man at my wedding. So yeah, he's my bro, you know, and yeah, like myself and many others, he always shares his knowledge. He's open. Anyone comes in the door with interest, he'll give them the time of day, you know. And just the way the shop is set up, the way Moko Ink is, when you step in, you're immediately part of what's happening.
I think I'm always going to tattoo. I mean, I think I'll always tattoo, but I think in the future I'm going to do it less. And I'd like to get back into doing more sculpture and other stuff. And, you know, like, get to a point where I've trained up enough people that, you know, they could go and moko the planet. And I mean, to be honest, if someone came along tomorrow and their work was so impressive that it made me wanting to put my tools down, I would absolutely be stoked. I can't see it going away now. I don't think it's back for good. I think people are over all the reasons that they made for it to disappear. I think they don't exist anymore. And I think slowly people are getting more and more comfortable with the idea. And, you know, I mean, I really don't think it should be anything exceptional. I think it should just be something that is personal and it's to that person and for that family to enjoy. And it doesn't have to be anything exceptional. You know, it can be just part of everyday life.